Hey crafters, it's Janet with Crafting It Up in Creations coming at you today with a fairy house do-it-yourself little fairy garden. Could be incorporated as a little gnome garden or a butterfly garden, anything that you could think of. So this is kind of just an overview of what I've done. I tried to speed up this video as much as I possibly could because you don't really need to see how I did it per se. And I know a lot of times I enjoy watching other people make stuff like this, but I didn't want to bore you to death. This video is quite long, so I do apologize ahead of time. If you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing, you can kind of speed on through it. And I tried to cut out a lot of that footage because this took quite a long time to do. So as you can see, there's a little outside door on that side. I glued rocks all the way around this, and reindeer moss, and a little mossy rock to the edge, and I added some of the mushrooms. I added all kinds of things to this, and it is so pretty. Now you can incorporate this by using almost all Dollar Tree supplies. There are a few things that I use that weren't Dollar Tree, and I'll kind of go over those with you and share them with you. This door actually came from Family Dollar, and as well as this huge pot because I wanted something really big. These little houses also came from Family Dollar. And they're really nice. They're not real heavy, but they're little fairy garden decor that they've had in the past. I haven't been back in there recently, but all these were $1 a piece. The most expensive thing I used was the pot, which was $6. But here's the back of it. It shows you that it's just $1. They had several different kinds to choose from, and they're all just super cute. And there's about 3 different houses to choose from. Now you can also get them from Michael's. This was $6.99 regularly, but with your coupon, you could get it at least for $3.50, $4. And it's really nice too, but it actually has a hanger on it. So Family Dollar had a few sets that they had available with the house. Not this one. This is just one of the other little separate houses, but it came with the little gnome, the wheelbarrow, the flower pot, and the little greenery. And they came with, some of them even had like a little fairy in them. And they were $5 for the set. They're really nice. Family Dollar's just about everywhere, so you may be able to still go in and see if yours has some of those available. And I'll run through quickly what else I used here. I had these pebbles from the Dollar Tree. I'll use my glue gun. You'll need tons of glue sticks, of course. The flower pot, any kind of fairy garden stuff. So I also used reindeer moss, fairy garden mushrooms, tons of succulents. I just went through and picked out everything I had and, kind of threw it in accordingly. But they have tons of succulents at the Dollar Tree as well. Now they also have tons of greenery at Michael's, and this was originally $14.99, but when I got it, it was 60% off. So check out the sales because that's a lot of greenery too that you can use for so many different things. So there's my reindeer moss. I'm going to actually pull all this back out of my pot. And this is some Flower Soft. If you're familiar with any kind of card making tutorials, they have it at Michael's as well in the section with all the fairy garden stuff. But it's actually little tiny pieces of flour that are in a package, and they're like $4.99 for the package, and that's what it originally looks like, but I put it in a Ziploc bag. And I apologize, I don't have that in its original container. But if you go to Michael's, you'll see it in their fairy garden section. So I also used some of these floral decorations. These are moss-covered rocks. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. Now this pot was $6. I actually got it at Family Dollar or Dollar General, one or the other. And I just wanted a really big pot, but there are so many different ones that you can choose from the Dollar Tree. And then there's the gnomes from the Dollar Tree, the fairies from the Dollar Tree. And this is just some little fencing. It's $4.99. It's in the Celebrate It section of Walmart. These are from Tuesday morning. So I'm just kind of showing you other options that you can have. Tuesday Morning has some of these things. They're fairly inexpensive as well. And then I pulled out some flowers that I had from the Dollar Tree in case that I wanted to use those as well. So I kind of decide where I want my fairy door, and I throw the hot glue on there, and I kind of put it where I know that for sure that that door is going to hit. And I'll kind of just hold that in place until that kind of sets up. And then I'm going to place glue everywhere on the pot at first, and then just kind of stick the rocks to it. And it's kind of just however you decide to do this. I don't even show you my whole entire process of placing the rocks on there, but you may even have a better way to do it as to putting them on there to make them look better. But anywhere that I have too much of a gap, I kind of throw the reindeer moss in between, and sometimes the rocks fall off because the glue had already maybe set up before I really got it pushed on there. So you do have to work kind of quickly and maybe even in a smaller area. I learned this along the way of trying to do this, but it comes out pretty cute, with all the rocks on there. And there's the reindeer moss. And I'm just going to kind of show you how I just kind of threw it in between some of the rocks. And there's actually some really nice pieces of moss in there. And I kind of break it up and pull it apart. And even when I put it on the flower pot, sometimes I even trimmed it with the scissors. If it stuck out way too far, I did that as well. And I'm just going to work it in between the rocks. And I kind of stick it in between there as well. And I kind of slowly go through this process, but I'm going to speed it up and show you like the end result once that it's all done. And all this is pretty tedious to add the rocks to it. That may not even be your thing. You can certainly cater to whatever type of fairy garden you have. I saw a few of these on Pinterest where people had glued rocks to the sides of the flower pots, and I thought, oh, I've got a nice big flower pot, let's try that. And then I thought, oh, if I put the reindeer moss in between it, it'll even make it look more aged and like that house has been there for a while. And I'm trying to look for ways to use up my fairy garden stuff. I've bought several things from Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, even Michael's and Joann fabrics. I have quite a few little tiny things to use for fairy gardens, and I really wanted to try to make different things for those because that is just something I think is enjoyable. It's fun to create and make this little world for your fairy gardens or your little gnomes. And certainly, Dollar Tree had several little fairy garden houses that they put out, and I have quite a few of those that I've redone. I've repainted them. I've done them in white and put like a pearlized finish over them. I've done them in black. So these are ones that I could change out for like Halloween or Christmas, and they come out really pretty. And I'll do another section on that, on how I kind of glam those up a little bit and can change them out for the holiday season if you wanted to. So I did glue one of the little moss rocks onto the side just to kind of give it a little perch. And I'm kind of finishing up as to where I'm putting rocks on all the way around this. And it did take a while. Like I say, I trimmed it a little with the scissors so that the moss isn't sticking out everywhere. And here's kind of an overview of what it looks like around the whole edge. And it looks pretty good, I think. And there goes a rock. So every now and again, a rock would fall off. So what I would end up doing is just gluing it back on. And then I decided I wanted it to look even more finished, so I started putting the moss around the bottom edge of this. And I just go through with the hot glue gun and put it on there, and then I just kind of throw the moss to it. And just like what was on the rocks, anything that stuck out too far, I just went ahead and trimmed it off. But I push it in there and kind of just try to stick it down as flat as it will go. And I thought that this kind of just gave a more finished look at the bottom rather than, I could have maybe buried this in the dirt outside somewhere or anything like that, but I thought even just this kind of gave it a finished look. And then I could put it outside if I wanted to, and I could keep it inside if I wanted to. So here it is, the finished all the way around the bottom. And I'm kind of inspecting it to see if there's anywhere that might need just a little bit more moss or another rock. And it's really humid where I live, so since I've actually made this, a few rocks have fell off here and there, and I've went back and actually added them, with the hot glue again and put them in place. So if you have even more humidity than I do, the hot glue gun may not be the best option. So here's one of the little mushrooms, and it actually has a wire stem. And I put just a little bit of hot glue on that stem, but I'm going to stick it down into that little moss rock because it's really foam. And you can get a pack of those at Michael's for like $2.99. And you get quite a few of them. They'll go a long way. Like I say, every now and again a rock would fall off. I feel like for the most part it was just because it didn't quite set. Because not all the rocks are falling off. It's just intermittently a few of them. Now this is just some packaging that they've given me with some of the breakables that I had. And this is foam board. And then I have one of the blades from the Dollar Tree. You get 3 in a package for $1. And I just hold it over top of the flower pot and go right around that edge and cut in a perfect circle almost. And it's kind of like even the flower pot itself guided me as to where to go. It was really quite neat. I didn't think it was even going to work out that well. But if you do on that inside edge or even the outside, it'll fit perfect in there. So that worked out really well. I couldn't believe how well it worked out, honestly. And I just kind of throw the hot glue to the edge. And you do kind of have to hold that in place for a few minutes. Just to kind of, until that glue sets. And in the middle of it, of course, I needed another glue stick. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many glue sticks I went through for this project. It was a lot. And I really like the Gorilla Glue ones from Walmart. They work really well. And this is a high temp, like a larger glue gun. So I go through and I pick out a few of my houses. And this is also somewhat of a tedious part of just deciding kind of where you want things, and putting them in there. And this is the bunch of the mushrooms that I had. This is a little mushroom stick. And I actually got that at Walmart for 96 cents. Like I say, you can find all kinds of this stuff just about anywhere, but that was in their garden section. This is like a little lamp. It came from Tuesday Morning. It was $2.49. Tuesday Morning has a lot of different things too for fairy garden things. And then I picked this up at Joann's. It was on clearance, and it's just like a little walkway. And I play around with a little bit, trying to decide, where I want everything. And so I'll kind of just let you watch. I kind of move things around. I put the reindeer moss down. I have some other moss that I got from Joann's that I kind of placed down in there. And I move my little fairies around. I make a little rock walkway, several different things. So I'm just going to kind of speed through this process and just let you watch, how I kind of set it all up. Because this right now is to whatever your liking is. But I always love watching other people create too, and how they place things and where they put them. And it's fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to watch. So I pull out just a bunch of different type of moss and I add it to the base just to kind of look like I've got a little grassy area. And I add the reindeer moss as well. I've kind of stuck a bunch of little succulents in there to look like I have some bigger plants. And I try to fill in anywhere, that you can see that cardboard. And that's one reason that I kind of like to use the black too, so that if, I didn't cover an area real well, then you wouldn't be able to see that stark white maybe sticking through. And here I'm kind of just finishing it up. Every little area, of course, that I can, I place down some moss and I kind of just press it down into that glue. So this is about wrapping it up. I really enjoyed making this. I don't know if people enjoy so much watching these things as much as I do, but here's the finished product. I tried to use some different colored mosses. I used different succulents in there, different little mushrooms to kind of give it some height. I just love these little fairy garden figurines. And I love the process of making them. And watching other people do this and seeing their creative process, I think is so much fun. And here it is outside. Here's my little fairy garden door. And I kind of just roll over it and kind of let you see exactly what I did. Most everything on here I did glue down. And it's so cute. So if you like these type of videos, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you haven't already subscribed and you like this type of thing, or Dollar Tree DIYs or Dollar Tree hauls, if you hit that subscribe button, that'll let you know every time you bring up your YouTube videos, anytime I've posted something new. If you hit the bell, that'll actually send a notification to your email or your smartphone and let you know that I've uploaded a video as well. So thanks so much. If you stuck through this and watched this entire video, I do appreciate it. I know it was pretty long. It looks like it's almost 24 minutes long, but this is my finished product. I really enjoyed making this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. And again, take care. This is Janet from Crafting It Up in Creations. I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day.